Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm John.
And we're the Geezers on the Go.
Go, go, go.
In this episode, we're at Twiltley Branch Campground on Okatibbee Lake in the heartland of Mississippi. This Corps of Engineers campground is in Collinsville, Mississippi, less than 10 miles north of Meridian and Interstate 20. The campground has 49 sites in 2 loops, Loblolly and Blackgum. It's also got a tent camping area, 4 day-use parks, 3 swim areas, 4 boat ramps, and a cool dam.
The 3,500-acre lake attracts fishermen from miles around, and sometimes it's a magnet for tornadoes, too. We endured the 4th tornado watch of our trip here. But when you're not hunkered down by the weather, a trip to Meridian can be quite an adventure, too, and informative. It has one of the coolest museums we've seen. They call it the Max. Finally, don't miss Highland Park and its historic carousel ride. But hold on tight. It spins almost as fast as a Mississippi tornado.
We're going zippity-doo-dah on this. We're here at Twiltley Branch Campground on Okatibbee Lake in Collinsville, Mississippi. We're at site 27, the last site in this loop, which is the Loblolly loop. And we have water and electric. And we're the last site here. There's the lake right there. We're sort of not facing the lake except on our windows, but we have a lot of space out back and nobody behind us. So we have a nice quiet area back here. And there's another loop here called Blackgum, and we'll check that out later. But this is the only loop that has all reservable spots. All 27 spots are reservable, but the other one is part reservable and part first come, first serve, which you don't see that a lot anymore. And we're going to take a little walk around in this nice campground. The numbers here don't always correspond. I mean, we're 27 and across the road there is 23. This one's 21. And 26. All the ones on this side, on the outer loop, are pretty much on the lake. We're sort of in a cove off the main part of the lake. This is a nice one at 26. They're all pretty nice campsites. Pretty much have good views and good space. You just have to be careful because some of them, the trees, like 19, they're a little close to the campsite, but this one, 19, has a big space for the picnic table and everything. As we make our way around this Loblolly loop, it's a very pretty loop, and a lot of people come here to fish. You'll see a lot of trailers, and a lot of people will just park their boat right behind their campsite. That's site 24. And site 22 is very nice. You got a really big back open space there. I'm sort of going backwards because we were the last site. 15 isn't bad. The only bad thing about these are a little close together, but they're sort of staggered, so you're not like looking directly at the trailer sometimes when you're sitting. And this is number 22, which has a nice big space. This is number 13, and there's number 11. And over here, let's see, this is, I think, 18. 9 wouldn't be a bad site if you couldn't get right on the lake, because it's a pretty deep site with a lot of space, and there's nobody here in front of you. And you could walk right out to go fishing and out to the pier, so even though you're not directly on the lake, it'd be a good spot. I would say probably the same thing about number 7, even though you're not right on the lake. You have a pretty good view there of the lake. But I think one of the best spots here might be number 16. You'd only have to worry a little bit about some of the trees there. But if you got yourself going incorrectly and it's an easy shot from the roadway out there, you wouldn't have any problem getting in. And here we have number 5. And over here is 14, another good spot because you've got quite a bit of space behind you and not too close to that neighbor. And as we make our way to the end down here, this is number 3 on that side, and number 12 over here. Here we have number 10, another good spot looking out to the lake. And then over here is actually site number 1, and it comes after some of the other sites, which I think is kind of funny. And we finish up, that's number 8, number 6, which is a nice big site too, number 6, number 4, and finally the last one there, number 2. In our Loblolly loop here, between sites 18 and over there is 16, you can walk through and there's a fishing pier. So that's very convenient, lots of space so you're not trampling through anybody else's campsite. So let's go over and take a look. We're down a little bit around the corner, but you could walk along the shoreline or just down the road to get over to here. I guess you could bring a chair and sit out here, and not exactly sure what that is, maybe to pull yourself up once if you had tied your boat up here for a short time. But there's the cove. We're in the end of that cove, and then you could go back out of here to the main part of the lake, and I think the boat launch is just right down over there. So you could launch your boat over there and then come and bring it right along the shoreline right there, just like that person has. One day after we got here, we had yet another tornado watch. All we could do was wait and watch TV to see if we would need to run to the bathhouse for protection.
Choctaw County, because we do have, again, some tornadic storms that are potentially pushing towards Wayne County that could possibly clip the Choctaw County area. Do you have any updates, Tori?
This is the Blackgum Loop. It's another side loop that's near our Loblolly loop, and it has 2 sections. The first little section is reservable, and the other end is all first come, first serve. And it's right across from the boat launch over there. So we'll take a quick walk around and see what it looks like. The reservable part of the loop starts at number 27, which is a little pull through. And I guess you go from either side, but it's sort of backwards if you ask me. The picnic table's on that side and the lake looks out over there. So I might pull in backwards on this one. And then we come around to this other one here on the point. This one's number 29 right there. That's not a bad one. You're right at the point. We were here the other day. It can get a bit windy out here on the main part of the lake when it gets stormy, but take your chances. And then this is also a pretty nice site here, number 30. You're also on the point here. Would be good for fishing. This is site 31. It's a little short, but you would have enough area to park your car, or you can see here your boat. This is a pretty nice site, number 32. Nice and deep and right on the water, and at least protected from a little bit of the trees. Kind of close to number 33, but that would be that person's problem. Number 32 would be just pretty good. 33 and 34 are kind of close, but 34 is nice and deep, so you'd get real far back there, so your picnic table might be a little close to the guy next door, but the site itself is pretty long. Okay, 36, 37, and 38 are the last three on this that are reservable, and then go down to the other end, and they're all first come, first serve, so we'll take a look at those two. Once you get down to the last part of the loop here at Blackgum, and starting at sites number 39, these are all first come, first serve. They're very nice. Some of them are pull-throughs, and some are really nice long back ends right to the lake, the main part of the lake. But they're not easy to come by from what I understand. Let's see, it starts at number 39. That's the first one here. And then on the other side here is a pull-through at 48. And the camp host said that that sometimes there's people lined up at the gate waiting to get in for the first come, first serve, because they do close the gates here and open up at 6 and close at 10. And she said there have been known to be fights and people pushing each other just to get in the door, so be aware. If you want to get a first come, first serve, either come early or come in the off season. So they're nice and long. You can see here, that's 41 and 42, 43 is over there, and that's a really long one over here at 44. I can see why the camp host said that people try to fight over these sites, these first come, first serve sites, because they are really picturesque and pretty, lots of trees. She said though during COVID they were reservable, so I guess they didn't have to deal with people coming in and out, but she said she liked that better. She wished they would go back to that, because sometimes it can get crazy at the front gate. 44 would be great if you had a really big rig, because look at the size and the length of that back end. You'd have plenty of room for a big tow vehicles and 3 cars probably. Still first come, first served. That's 49, and that's a pull through. And over here, that's a beautiful spot too. That's number 45. Lots of shade. Get down here to the end and check out the last couple sites. 46 would be a real long back end with lots of shade and a great view of the lake if you can get it. And you're right out there on the lake, which sometimes can get windy, which we heard the other day. It was very windy, but on a day like today, it's beautiful. The last two sites on this end, that's 47, and the other one on this one is number 50. But be aware on this loop, this Blackgum Loop, there's no full-service bathroom. There's 2 small bathrooms, one on each end, so there's no shower. The only shower house is the one right before you turn into either loop. And those showers there left a little to be desired, so you might want to just take a shower in your own trailer. This is the Cypress Loop. This is the primitive camping, but it's pretty nice. It's got looks like water at most of the sites, and picnic tables and grills. So it'll be kind of nice. It looks nice and pretty flat. There's a little pavilion with other picnic tables, and it's covered. Also at the end of this Cypress Loop, there's a little day use area, and there's an actual beach over here too. I don't even remember seeing it on the map, but there's a beach right there, and there's also another boat launch.
This lake must be good fishing. This campground is just full of locals who bring their trailers and their boats and everything they own. Yeah. And you were over at the boat launch this morning, and it's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday, middle of the week, and I can't believe how many boats are out there fishing, and just there's so many coves, and there's a couple different boat launches on this lake, so it's everyone that had boats coming and going.
Yeah,
So.
and it's what? How many acres again is this
It's
lake?
3,500 acres.
So it's a pretty good sized lake.
And I think it's 28 miles of shoreline. So, you know, it's of course a bass fishing lake, but I think it's also good for crappie and brim. So come and bring your fishing pole and you might have good luck. We're sort of in not real close to anything. You're off the main highway here, Highway 19, but you're about a few miles from the town of Collinsville, which the campground is supposed to be, and not much there, but if you go about 10 miles away to Meridian, that's a pretty thriving town.
Yeah, we went to a beautiful museum there.
Yeah.
They call it the MAX. What's it? It's short for the Mississippi
Entertainment and Arts Museum and
Experience.
And it's dedicated to all famous Mississippians in the arts and music and poetry and all kinds of great exhibits.
It's amazing how many people are from Mississippi. I mean, from Elvis, Morgan Freeman, Bo Diddley, B.B. King,
Jerry Lee Lewis. And,
I mean...
and Jim Henson. Who'd have thought? I didn't know Jim Henson was from Mississippi.
Well, I knew Miss Piggy was from Mississippi.
Yeah, but we also visited a cool little park called Highland Park, and they have a really old carousel that we took a ride on.
Yeah, it's from the 1870s. It was built for the St. Louis Exposition of 1904.
Right. And
built in Philadelphia, and then wound up here somehow.
Right. But it's a cool little area. There's lots of little things to visit, and we'd highly recommend it. Before we head into town, though, let's check out Okatibbee Dam. It's the dam, after all, that created this fisherman's paradise. The dam was built by the Army Corps of Engineers in 1968. It's 72 feet high and over 6,000 feet long, and, as you can see, offers a lot of fishing opportunities. We're driving along a road that's right by the dam, and that's basically it. The lake is on the other side of that big grass knoll. We continued down that road where I said there was a big green area. It looked like it's an earthen dam, and down here it's called the tail race area. Must be good fishing just below the tail race areas. People up on the wall there. Water comes down through here, makes its way down the stream here, and it flows down under the bridge. There is steps to walk up to the top of the dam, and I think I'm going to try it. I'll let you know when we get to the top. Well, I made it to the top, and this is that road that was way down at the other end that I showed you. And this doesn't appear to be able to walk through here. We're out on the little pier there. This hungry bird wasn't the only one fishing. The lake was bustling with activity when we were there. The middle of April. Guess the fishing's starting to get good.
Oh, we're in Meridian. We're headed for the
Max Museum.
Museum they call the Max.
Well, the docent said we should start here and make our way around, and this is the Hall of Fame, which all people from Mississippi who deserve to be here. You see, it's the Hall of Fame, and they have a thing where people vote once a year to who else should be included. And here we go. Quite a few movies were filmed here in Mississippi. Parts of Route 66, My Dog Skip, which is one of my favorite movies. I like that. Old Brother, Where Art Thou? And what else we got? Mississippi Burning.
you got there, Jill?
Okay, we're in like a kitchen area of famous things in Mississippi, and you're supposed to take one of these plates off the table, and then you put it on the circle. And just put the plate there. And then, yeah, I didn't quite get it on, I guess. There we go.
Oh.
Yeah, but now watch over here. It tells you how to, some kind of a famous food. This museum's pretty good. They even give you some rocking chairs to sit on if you get tired.
Yeah, so I can take a rest. There's only what is it, 22,000
Square feet. I know, the place is huge. Probably one of the most famous people from Mississippi was Elvis. This is one of his suits that says it was the Hawaiian suit from one of his concerts. Out of all the things we've seen in this museum, Miss Max, I like this the best, sitting in the boat letting the pictures go by.
I love this. This is cool.
I know, this is my favorite part of the museum, right? This is Highland Park, which is about a little more than 10 miles from the campground, and it's in the town of Meridian. And this is where that famous carousel is located. But it's a nice little park. There's a little train. They have a little pond over here, and lots of things. They have a swimming pool and a nice park for kids. So, look like a great day to spend a day, just have lunch. There's a little cool waterfall that somebody made at one point with all these all these rocks and things, and there's a little bridge to walk over to there, and then up to the little pond where there's a little sprinkled shower thing here and some duckies. Didn't know this, but Jimmy Rogers, the famous singer, was born in Meridian, Mississippi. He was known as the Singing Brakeman because he did a lot of blues and ballads, and maybe that's why there's a a train over here.
What's here, Jill? What are we going to go see?
It's a carousel house established in 1909, and it's supposed to be a national landmark.
I don't know, Jill. Should we go for a ride?
Yeah.
All right, let's go over and check it out. Well, here we go. Jill's sitting up there in the horse.
Hi there. Whee!
Oh, this one's fast. I hope it don't whip me off the end. That guy wasn't messing around when he built this carousel.
I have no stirrups.
What?
I have no stirrups.
Jill has no stirrups. She's complaining.
Yeah, we're going pretty quick here. John's sitting in the safe spot.
Whip me off the end. With that, we made a dizzyingly quick exit and headed for our next stop. Thanks for taking a spin with us, and as always, we'll see you down the road.